Here are our more language-based activity, and this is all about sequencing and story retell or picture retell. And we have 3 different sets of the sequencing activities. They're just designed for different levels. So the one that I will show you is really the base level, the one that you would start with, just to make sure that the child has the skills. So this one has 3. And within your little bag, you obviously have multiple pictures of different sequencings. So I wouldn't pull them all out and have them in front of the child. Like, that's just way too overwhelming. I would pick one and start with that. And so for some children, this will be easy. And for other children, this will be very difficult and a very brand new experience. So we as the adults will have to do lots of teaching around it. So with all of the different activities, at first we recommend that the adult demonstrate what the activity is and how to do it. So you would put out the pictures in the wrong order so that you can talk about the pictures and model for the child what we want them to do. So we might just say things like, oh, we're going to talk about what happens when we eat an apple. When I eat an apple, first, my apple is big and there's no bites taken out. And next, I might take 1 bite of my apple. And then last, there's lots of bites taken out of my apple. So first, my apple was whole, no bites taken out. Next, my apple had 1 or 2 bites taken out. And last, there are lots of bites taken out of my apple. So, and then again, there's lots of different ways that you can adjust this too. You can talk about at that point, oh, what happened first, what happened next, what happened last, to really emphasize those concepts of first and last. You might find that you have some students that even 3 pictures is too challenging to start, so you might start with just 2, so the first and the last. So for that case, you would take that one out. And again, it would just be the same kind of situation where you would just say, oh, first, my apple is whole, there's no bites. And last, oh, there's lots of bites taken. That's last. And then once they get better with that, then you would obviously add that in. So that's what really the gist of this activity is. And then there's just different levels. So the next level would be where you have 4 sequences of cards. And again, the idea is that the child puts the cards in the right sequence, puts them on the board, and then tells you about what's happening in the pictures. And ideally using that language of first, next, next, last. And so that's where you might find they say first, next, next, last. And again, if this is the activity that you have and the child is struggling and you wanted to start with 2 pictures, again, start with the 2 pictures and talk about what's first and what's last. And this one has a title bar on it. So the longer sequences, the 4 and the 5, have titles that go with them. And you don't have to use the titles if you don't want to, but it might be a nice way to just kind of just introduce what you're going to be talking about. So you might just want to put that there to say, oh, we're going to talk about how to wrap a gift. And that's just going to help kind of just bring them together into what they're thinking about. Or you could do it a little bit of a different way too. Like you could have the wrapping the gift pictures out to show them, and you could ask them, what do you think that this is going to be about? Is it going to be about how to wrap a gift or how to build a snowman? What do you think is a good title for the pictures? And then they can decide. But again, you don't have to use the titles if you don't want to. That's completely your choice. And I think that's all I need to explain with these ones. If you have any questions about these ones, please just reach out to your SLP, just because we know that they can be a little bit confusing. So like I said, if you have any questions, just reach out.